Hello students, today we are talking about tenses. So what actually a tense is? Tense is equal to time of an action. There are three broad categories of time: present, past and future. As well as there are four types of action: simple or indefinite, continuous or progressive, perfect and perfect continuous. Simple or indefinite action is used in universal statement about the activity. Continuous or progressive means something which is continuing in the present. Perfect means something which is complete, started in past and going to get over at some point. For example, I have done my homework. Perfect continuous. There is a process, then some continuing action of the past will probably get over at some point, either now or in the future. Okay, so the first type of tense that we are going to talk about is present simple tense or the indefinite tense. There are four basic rules to keep in mind while applying this tense. Rule number one, used for general statements, habits and facts. Sun rises in the east, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. This type of sentences are uh, general sentences and facts. So simple present tense is used in this sentences. Rule number two, it is used for scheduled events in future like train or flight timings. Example, the train arrives at 6 p.m. The flight is at 2 a.m. Uh, in this both the sentences, the event is scheduled. So present simple tense is applied here. It's a form of present simple tense. Rule number three, it's also used in story writings to create drama, like I walked into the store, they he walks up behind me, they will put out their guns and fire. Rule number four, in negative sentences, it is used as subject plus do, does plus not plus main verb. It is the structure in negative sentences of present simple tense. Example, I do not paint, they do not swim, he does not remember her. So overall, if I have to summarize present simple tense or the indefinite tense, the basic structure of this tense is subject, then uh, plus base form of the verb. There are some exceptions as well. With I, you, we, they, we use the verbs in the form work, play, eat, do, run. But when there is third person singular like he, she, it, we use works, verbs like works, plays, eats, does, run. Means either s or es is added to the verb when we are talking about he, she, it. That means third person singular. When the main verb is preceded by the auxiliary verb, main verb always remains in its original form. Um, Second form of tense is present continuous tense. The structure of this tense is subject plus be plus verb ing. Example, you are learning English, I am talking to you. Rule number one to keep in mind while using this tense is it is used to talk about actions that are happening at present moment or around the time of speaking. Example, you are sitting on a chair. It is not happening in the past, neither in future, but it's happening in present. With I we use am, with you we use are, with we they we use are, with he she it we use is. Example, you are learning English, they are going to college, I am studying for my exam. So we'll compare two sentences. What do you think versus what are you thinking? The first sentence, what do you think, it is in present simple form, versus what are you thinking, it is in present continuous form. Okay, rule number two, it is also used to talk about temporary situation. Example, my mom is living in Delhi means my mom might change her place soon, or mm, after 2 3 years she might uh, be living in next city. So it is a temporary situation, hence present continuous tense. Rakshit is studying medicine. Now he is studying medicine, but after 2 3 years he will be practicing it. So it's a temporary situation. So here is also present continuous tense applied. Rule number 3. It is also used to talk about arrangements in the future that are scheduled, that are in your calendar already. Okay, means um, when you are scheduling an event, or when you're planning to do something in the future, in that time also present continuous tense is used. Why? Because the process of scheduling that event has already begun now. You have already marked it in your calendar today. Example, uh, she is going to the dentist at 2:30 p.m. means she will be visiting to the dentist at 2:30 p.m. but she has decided that action right now, right? So that's why present continuous tense is applied here. They are getting new laptops on Tuesday. They are getting new laptops on Tuesday. We are having dinner at a restaurant tonight. All these are forms of present continuous tense because the action has already begun. Rule number 5, it is used. Rule number 4, it is used to talk about actions that we can control. What type of actions we can control are usually temporary. Example, Arav is silly versus Arav is being silly. So Arav is silly. The first statement is in simple present tense, but Arav is being silly means he is usually not silly, but at this present moment he's acting silly. So this is called present continuous tense. Rule number 5, it can be used to express annoying habit. So there are two sentences I'll be telling. The first sentence is Arav is talking in class versus Suhani is always talking in class. Which one is more annoying? Which one is giving an sense of annoyance or habit? Second sentence, right? Suhani is always talking in class. Uh, so here also, always. Mind this word. Suhani is always talking in the class. Here the continuing process is, means the process is getting continued. Rule number 6, present continuous in negative form. So the structure of using present continuous in negative form is subject plus be plus not plus verb ing. I am not meeting my friends on Friday. We are not talking to him. She is not reading that book. There are also exceptions in present continuous tenses. Present continuous tense should not be used with state verbs or conditions like love, believe, known, understand, hate, remember. But here's the exceptions. Um, hate is a hate is what? Hate is a state verb, right? Hate is a state verb, but so we cannot use it. We cannot use present continuous with hate, but there is an exception. We can use it like I am hating this music. This is the exception because this is a temporary state. I always like music, but right now I don't like it. So the second sentence where we can use our that state verb is I am loving my new haircut. It is also a temporary statement, temporary state. We can change that state soon. So here also present continuous tense can be applied. Number 3, third tense, which is the present perfect tense. The structure of this tense is subject plus has, have plus past participle. Rule number 1, to use this present perfect tense is it is used to describe actions or events started in past and have consequences in present. Means the actions which have been done in past but its consequences is still in the present. Notice, even though it is in present perfect tense, the main verb is in past participle, usually with an ed, like worked, talked, danced, spotted. Um, Irregular verbs can also be in past participle form. Example, go becomes gone or went, drink becomes drunk, am becomes been. Exam, Example, I have forgotten his name and I forgot his name. So which one will you be using when the person is right in front of you? We will be using I have forgotten his name. We will not say I forgot his name. We'll say I have forgotten his name if the person is right in front of us. I have cleaned my room so I can now go out with my friends. It is a past action with an impact on present. Means the room has been cleaned, so now I can go with my friends. Exception. I, you, we, they, we use have. Here, he, she, it, we use has. Rule number 2. Started in past and but the sentence is incomplete. If the sentence is started in past, still it is incomplete, then we use the present perfect tense. Example, I had 3 cups of tea yesterday versus I have had 3 cups of tea today. First sentence is in past and it's over, and the second sentence is present already, not yet over, and it's continuing to the present. More examples of present perfect tense are we have walked 3 kilometers so far. I have met a lot of people in last few days. Impacts of these past sentences are still on the present. Rule number 3. Used to describe life experiences up to present. I have traveled to 20 countries. She has been to Canada 3 times. Have you tried Ethiopian cuisine? It's oftentimes present perfect is used with time expressions that indicates an indefinite time frame. Example, ever, never, already, just, recent, etc. Have you ever seen a shooting star? He has already left. I had lunch versus I just had lunch. What's the difference between these two sentences? I had lunch, it's a simple tense, versus I have just had lunch means uh, I just had lunch and I cannot eat more. It's giving, um, it's indicating this. Rule number 4, in negative sentences, we use the structure of the verb will be in this form: subject plus has, have plus not plus past participle. I repeat, subject plus has, have plus not plus past participle. She has not finished her report yet. They have not called since morning. Present perfect continuous. The next tense. Action started in past and it continues to the present. Structure of this tense would be subject plus has, have plus been plus verb ing. The dog has been barking incessantly all night. She has been crying all morning. Rule number 1. It is used for actions or situations that started in past, are still going in the present, and may continue in future. It's used to emphasize how long something has been happening and also to show the impact of that uh, continuing action on the present. It's a very layered type of tense as compared to the other tenses. Present perfect continuous tense is very layered. Example of these tenses are we have been saving money for our vacation all year long. They have been renovating their house for months. Rule number 2. It is used to talk about things that have been happening recently or action taking place lately. Example, we have been watching movie all weekend. It has been raining since morning. I have been exploring some AI tools recently. Rule number 3, we usually don't use present perfect continuous tense to talk about state verbs. Again, here also we do not use state verbs, but there are some exceptions, I think. So let's explore that. Example, I have been hating these vegetables. We cannot say like this because we cannot use present perfect continuous tense in this statement like this. I have been hating this vegetable. We cannot say this. It would be wrong to say in this manner. Why? Because hating, which is the state verb here included, so we need to use simple present tense. I hate vegetables. We can say in that way. I have been belonging to this band. We cannot say this, but we can say I belong to this band. Rule number 4. In negative form, subject plus has, have plus not plus been plus verb ing plus since for time. It is the structure to use present continuous tense in present perfect continuous tense in negative form. So the structure to use negative sentences in present perfect continuous tense is subject plus has, have plus not plus been plus verb ing plus since for time. She has not been feeling well of late. They have not been working out at gym recently. I have not been practicing music for weeks. With this, we can close now present tense with overall, which overall accounts for 70% of spoken English.